Hi guys, this is Allison from Alley Creations. Amish Mindset, like, share, and subscribe. And if you get anything from my work, an epiphany, a mic drop, a connect the dot, a light bulb moment, a new author to read, or a book to explore, please consider donating and helping me with a love gift. And of course, I have another link if you would like to help me with my move, because I am still in desperation. And it's pretty cold in New York for fall. Spiritual soul advice. Very compelled to do this one. Your mission. Your mission. What did you sign up with God to do? Well, I don't know. What are you talking about, Allison? It comes to an idea that we all serve a purpose here on this planet. That we all, if we watch Decode Your Reality, we all play out roles to serve either the good or the bad, the light or the dark. Many of us have been cast out of society because we're very misunderstood. All of our roles that we have endeavored in every one of our lives has been every aspect of the things that we don't have in this life. God created me in its image, and I don't see male or female aspect of God. It's energy for me. But you go with whatever you're resonating with. God created me in its image. I am of God. I do and say and am a messenger through God. Although some people would say otherwise, because, oh, you like all the black makeup and you look dark and you're gothic and oh, you read all that esoteric stuff. Okay, stop the judging, because some of us are tests for others from God itself. God's not tangibly seen, felt, or heard unless you have an experience, but yet the other people cannot see or explain. God works through each and every one of us in different ways, and that's the arrangement we made with it. I was supposed to be cast aside, adopted, abandoned, left alone. I arranged all that for my soul to grow. It's up to everybody to understand, like in the Powder movie, that once this is opened and you comprehend we're all one, we're all the same. We are all of God, even the bad. Satan was once a part of God, still is a part of God. We're playing out in duality. What happens if you realize that Satan was tasked, or you could call it Lucifer, whatever you would like, it's up to you, whatever name you subscribe to, fell as a role being played to help wake people up, to help people choose what polarization with using their free will and the veil of forgetting. Remember, we most of the time cannot remember our past lives. Some of us can. Doesn't make me any better or any worse. Some of us can actually obtain that information. Many people are starting to now. What is your role and your purpose is individualized. Some of us is just to be. Some of us is to heal. Some of us is to hold the light for the rest of humanity. Some of us come as tests. I'm a big test for humanity. Many people like me are. Why? Because people still judge and hold a lot of labels and stereotyping. Still to this day. I am of God. And it's the God of whatever Bible you subscribe to. I just know that the Bible is man-made and handwritten by man. There's flaws in man. We're not perfect. No one that is human is of perfection. Not even Yeshua was perfect. If you go based off of the one book and don't allow yourself the opportunity to read, again, all literature texts are of man. Imperfect, with dualistic infiltration, revision and reversals of roles. And a lot of people cannot come out or snap out of that one book paradigm. But if you go inside yourself and ask yourself, does a lot of that make sense to you? Someone could preach the Bible, but I can preach a similar word that is not of the Bible. Does that make it evil because it's me saying it? I don't need to be a disciple, a prophet in that time period to have the wisdom that is gained through understanding what the all is, what the paradigm of God is. Most spiritual people, spiritual in terms of not grasping a book to be the end all be all of all words, will tell you that you are of God. God created everything on this plane of existence, including the tarot, including the oracle cards, the gems, the candles, the negative polarity, uses those tools as scare tactics for their black magic, for their evil. It's the intention a person puts into the work, whether it deemed good or evil, will get the result of a good, positive result or a negative result. It's up to you to discern the intention of a human being in doing the good work of God. What is your role? Many people don't go to mediums or people like me just to talk because they're afraid, because they go to church and they can't speak to a medium because, oh, they rob the devil. Well, what happens if you get a message from a loved one that you needed to hear to heal your soul. Does that seem really evil? I don't have that ability just yet. I'm more of a channel that God, source, spirit guides, ascended masters, whoever uses me as a vehicle to get messages out to people, to heal them. And in things that I'm not experienced in at all. People come to me with a lot of their marital problems. I'm not married. I have not been in a relationship since 2013. That relationship was karmic. I choose not to be in a relationship, by the way. But the advice that I give is not mine, it's spirit's. Spirit uses me as a vehicle to get messages out to the world. That's my purpose, one of many here on this plane of existence. I'm a tool to help others see past a paradigm that some people just can't do it. I have family members. My birth mother, who committed suicide, is from Southern baptism. When they learned of my they found me kind of deal, I found them, they found me. I went through the evil DNA testing stuff, and I found my family. And they didn't want to accept me because of what I am. And I bet you what I am is what my mother was. And they couldn't accept it. And they made her life a living daylight of hell. But why? If we're all from God. It's your choice when you get down here after your incarnation to choose, are you going to the negative path or the positive path? It's up to you. You make those choices, you're still of God. We choose roles for each other to play out, whether it be in a marriage, a relationship, a work situation. We all have roles for each other. We all walk into each other's lives. We have contracts with other people, arrangements with other people. I asked my ex from 2013, I still talk to him to this day, to be the narcissist, and I'm the empath. I didn't realize it back then. I didn't really know any about, I knew a lot, but not in depth. And I put myself through the ringer in that relationship. I was blindly in love, blind, to not see the signs of abuse. But I asked him to do those things. He never hit me. He would have killed me. But I asked him to do what he needed to do to wake me the fuck up. And oh boy, I did. And now looking back all that time ago, I realized that I asked him to do that. And when I brought it to his attention recently, he agreed. And he apologized. He's like, no, I was an asshole. I shouldn't have treated you that way. You didn't deserve that. You're a good person. And that apology helped heal a wound that was in me. We all have to understand now the paradigm is shifted. Things are shifting. A lot of us are trying to figure it out. Why am I here? What am I doing here? Go within, because God's within you. What is your mission? Is it to be the housewife? Is it to be the entrepreneur? Is it to be the healer, the teacher, the guide? What is it that you do? Are you an amazing gardener? Do you know how to build, fix pipes? We all have a gift. We all have hobbies. Some of us are really good, and some of us, we need work. But we always look to other people to see and get advice from. Maybe you're that person that just has really good advice for other people. Might not be for yourself. I'm one of those, right? It's not that I don't take my own advice. It's just where it inserts and implies. Like insert here, okay, that doesn't work for me, but it works for other people. We all hold a purpose for each other. What's your purpose? Ask yourself. The paradigm is shifting. Things in the world are getting really scary for a lot of people who are not awake to the actual narrative playing out. They're trying to show you. They are trying to show you what is actually going on. But a lot of people are still, she can't be right. Sometimes when you can admit that you're wrong, you just did yourself the biggest favor because you're going to release a lot. No one wants to be wrong. But sometimes that's a lesson that you have to learn how to admit that you're wrong, own up to it, and move on from it. Forgive yourself, because let's face it, a lot of people are unknowing. A lot of people don't take the time to observe their surroundings. They're caught up in the life that's expected of them that they thought they were expected to do. You go to work, you wake up, you have your routine every day. And sometimes you don't allow yourself a break from those routines. You just fall into the same pattern and you distract yourself with minute brain sucking things. Ask yourself, did Yeshua go to church? Did he go to a building? Did he go out in nature? Did he walk with people and talk with people, preaching, teaching his wisdom? There are many of us that do the same. And it's of God. I'm not claiming to be Yeshua. I don't want to be Yeshua. I'm not on that scale. But I walk with God. Who do you walk with? And here's another problem a lot of people can't grasp. People who are pagan. Most pagan faiths of the positive nature also believe in a source, the one and all. When you subsect all the gods and goddesses of that, equate it to the Native American way of saying it's all essence and energy. Right? Just give an example because this is what I know best. Odin, I call him Allfather. He's not God. He's an ascended master. In the mythology, he drank from the well of Mimir. He sacrificed his eye, hung on the tree of Yggdrasil, and he got the runes. They came to him. In other mythologies, very similar archetypes have popped up. The god of fire, the god of war, the god of this, the god of that, the fertility god. But they all know that there is one divine spark that started it all. You can give it any name. There's so many languages, so many different angles you could take things. How can your one book be the end all be all? It's not. And there's a lot of people who preach, even saying that they want to do away with a lot because a lot of it doesn't make sense. A lot of it doesn't apply, but yet off and off and off on speaking and quoting from it. And I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with the Bible. There's a lot wrong with it when it comes to certain topics, like incest, cannibalism. It's in there. Did you read it? There's a lot in there. But if you take it for its allegory, and there's a lot of books that I read that does break it down and kind of show you the context of where they're thinking, and you start looking at other religions and you start taking and analyzing each of them, no one is going to encompass the all truth. We only encompass the entirety of totality when we merge back with source, with God. Many of us have been having vivid dreams of late. The last week, have been exhausted all day. Not characteristic of me that I'm up really late at night, but I have been nonstop sleeping. And I've had a few very repetitive, vivid dreams. Different scenarios, but very vivid dreams where I am walking the streets of either Manhattan or Brooklyn, and a person has a weapon about to do harm to another. And I use super duper strength because I'm tiny. I'm very tiny. To subdue them. And I scream at them, "What is my name?" And they can't answer me. They can't tell me their name either because they're possessed by a demonic. And I finally get them to tell me what my name is. And it's of an angel, an archangel, that came through me to take that demon out. And in many of those reoccurring vivid dreams, I'm levitating in front of everybody who's filming me. That's probably putting me on TikTok, by the way. And a light emanation comes from me and sends the demon up to God, where it is nulled and void, and back with it. It's vaporized. Its essence is back with source. And then I put my hand on their forehead, the human vessel that it was possessing, and I asked for its soul to come back into its body where it rightfully belongs. And they grasp for breath, and they don't know what just happened. And then I introduce myself with my actual name, and they start crying, and they don't know why they're where they are, why they're there. They don't know why they held a weapon, whether it be a gun or a knife, ready to kill somebody. They had no idea. Zero clue. And they made them speak into the water. I got somebody to run to a store to get me water. And then we spake that I am, an anointed of God. That I am of God and I hold a purpose higher. I'm a righteous, walking human vessel for God to use. And I made them drink that water, infused with positive words and vibrations, because water holds knowledge and memory. Are you talking in your water? Should be. Many of the vivid dreams that I've been having the past week have been very similar to that. There's a lot of people walking around that are possessed, that they don't vibrate high, and negative polarization thought forms jump into them. And I'm going to not lie to you, I most likely also was possessed when I was a child, if not oppressed. Most likely oppressed because of the things that I used to see. They tried to dim my light since I was a little kid. But I never gave in to that. Even if halfway through my life, I questioned God's existence because I kept having really horrible things, horrible, tragic losses happen all around me. And I couldn't fathom why, because I didn't have the wisdom and knowledge that I have now. I didn't think the way I was thinking back then because I didn't have anybody to guide me. And the only guides I had were books, but they really never spoke about what you are as a human being, as that you are a fractal of God. You make the choices, but we don't know that as kids. We're not told that we have an arrangement from upstairs and that we chose our parents, we chose our life situations. We don't know that as kids. We just go about life experimenting and going out and playing and hurting ourselves. I don't know about the kids nowadays, but I mean, we're learning by trial and error. We're going, let's touch the stove. Oh, that's hot. Let's not do that again. Trial and error. You learn by doing. You have to experience life. And as little kids, you're putting everything in your mouth. You're getting sick. You're flying off your bike, doing stupid shit, because that's how life is supposed to be experienced. But we don't know that we signed an agreement before we were born to come here and have a family and be lessons for other people that walk through your life, throughout your life. Who knows? And a lot of people would say, Allison, that's batshit crazy. But think about why you signed up for your life and what lessons you need to learn for your soul growth. Many people sign up for tragic, hard lives. I'm one of them. Some people ask for the rich life. They have it all. Things come easy to certain people. Things seem like it just gets handed to them, where people like me have to work twice, triple, quadruple harder for anything to happen for them. There's a reason for that. Some things are meant to be and some things are not, whether you want to manifest it or not. If it's in your divine path to have, it will happen. If it's not going to happen. Ask yourself and analyze. Why is that person angry with me? What did I do to trigger them off? What makes me upset? The other day, I really got hurt by a podcast with my favorite person. And it wasn't me angry with my favorite person. They were backtracking to save the other people that were on this podcast hosting it. And when I went into meditation and asked, was that a trigger for me or was that something to learn from or what was it? They're like, Allison, you told yourself you're putting up your boundaries with things that you need to hear and things that you don't no longer serve you. And they have great things to say, but when it comes to what they are practicing and preaching, it doesn't align with you. So you got to put your barrier up and say, I'm not going to watch them anymore. No hard feelings. They hurt the what was said in my perception was very harmful and hurtful. And I can no longer give them my energy because the lack of understanding what 5D consciousness is unity. And unity means everybody. And you can't put money on that. We need to grow 5D consciousness in terms of capitalism. I'm not against capitalism by any means or stretch of the imagination, but you cannot apply it into a metaphysical conundrum of what 5D encompasses. We're going to read it. Sorry, I have to read it off my phone. God created everything, including the planes of existence. That's why Pistis Sophia was written. To have people understand and understand that you do wrong and you can redeem yourself, because without knowing and doing, when you make a mistake, that's you learning. Right? Like if you just inadvertently did something unknowing to you that hurts somebody, sometimes you don't know that you hurt another person or their feelings, because not everybody communicates the same way. Or you physically like did something to somebody without intending to harm them, but maybe you pushed into somebody by accident or you tripped into somebody. It was an accident. You didn't mean to do that. Right? So we learn from those experiences. Maybe I shouldn't have been walking too fast. Oh, maybe next time I need to slow down. Maybe I need to take my eyes off my phone when I'm walking in public. Stupid little things like that, but they're really good lessons, because maybe being more observant in your line of sight when doing things, going out into the world, you can observe danger easier. Getting back to 5D. I resonate with this list. It's why I'm going to read it. 5D consciousness includes unity consciousness, social memory complex, aligning with the divine, knowing that you are of source and understanding and comprehending that concept that you are the am that I am. You are a part of the divine, no matter what religion or faith you follow. It is all meant to be that way, by the way. Heart-centered, service to others, purpose-based. Amish Mindset is speaking with the service to others and purpose-based. Connectedness, high frequencies, activated senses, flow state, abundance, source information. Was my vivid dreams telling me that I will at some point encompass that ability to exorcise demons out of people? It's not far-fetched. I have books to help others clear negative entity thought forms from their essence. It does and will still occur, because they're always trying to dim people's light without their knowing, by the way. Unconditional sharing. We're going to get back to that. Guided, supported from upstairs. Co-creator. Effortless, light, easy. Universal knowledge. Unconditional sharing. Amish mindset. When people talk about 5D, when you try to include products in things of that nature, what are you doing for the people who can't afford it? We're supposed to be unity consciousness. Like I said in the Law of One video, we're on an elevator and the people down here are as equal to the people up here, and we're supposed to be aiding the people down here to come elevate to our level. How can we do that if you're leaving out the people at the bottom? If you can't give an opportunity to somebody down here, they're never going to raise. And not to say that they're not going to raise up on their own. Absolutely, that's their job to do that. But you're supposed to be the guiding hand in helping people raise up. But when it comes to certain things, you need to realize that not everybody has the abundance in what you're looking for. And then when you make people feel bad that they are not supporting you in the way that you want them to, financially, and others, you're not being unity, you're dividing. Even though your intentions might be amazing, you're not using unconditional sharing. My abundance is where I have more than enough to share with other people. In my depletion of life the last year, I have given away stuff that no longer serves me and that other people can use and need and rehome for the betterment of them. I think that's amazing. $4D, mixed state gateway, conscious being, expanding consciousness, challenging old belief. Many people are doing that right now. The old belief systems, comparison duality, still seeking answers, understanding structures, awareness of connection, more compassion, aligning with purpose, remembering, synchronicity, flexible reality, faster manifestation, more connected. And many of us are vibrating in between 4 and 5. Many of us are really going quickly, right? Between both, which is great. It's amazing. If you resonate with any of the things I've said, and again, you can have some things in the 5D that you resonate with and like, wow, I'm there, I'm at that place. And there's nothing wrong with resonating with the 4D. There's no 1 and above. We all have to go to 4. Physically, to 4 in order to get to 5. Some of us are consciously 5. Some of us are consciously between 4 and 5. Some of us are 6. It doesn't matter. There's no one person above the other, because again, we're in the building of the positive polarity, and we at the top Whoever aligns with their top, they did all the lessons, which there are, you don't stop learning. It doesn't matter what level of consciousness you believe that you are. There is no guru, there is no ascended masters on the earth plane. They're all upstairs, by the way. You're here, but there's still people here, and there's nothing wrong with that. Stop judging, right? Everybody's going to wake up in their own time. And if they don't wake up now, that's okay. That's what they chose. They chose that experience. Some people chose to be evil this lifetime and do some really heinous, horrible things. But that's for us to wake up to. That is our lesson to learn, so it doesn't repeat again. They did those heinous acts so we can learn from them. That's their role for us. They are playing out a role. Decode Your Reality. I suggest watching that, because every bit of everything that Logan talks about in his show and on his channel, holy shit, adds up. It equates up. Everything is in God's design. Simulated or not, doesn't matter. It's all of God. Even the bad is all of God. The negative polarity is of God. The negative ETs are of God. The positive ETs are of God. We are of God. We are fractals of God. We all have pieces of God in us. The spark that creates life is God. That's in all of us. The reason why you have a veil of forgetting and free will is to make your own decision on what pathway you're taking. Are you going the right-hand path or the left-hand path? The negative still ascends. Their ascension's a little different from ours, but they still are up for harvest, graduation, whatever you want to call it, whatever you resonate with. God sent me here with an arrangement that I wasn't going to have religion in this lifetime, that I didn't need it, that I'm supposed to help wake others up to the fact that you don't need a religion or one book to know of God. There are other people who come through God knowing, because that's what the paradigm that they woke up into. Their parents gave them a book and said, here, this is what you're going to study. This is what we're doing every Sunday. This is what we're doing every day on a mat. This is what we do every shul. Tibetan monks, I don't know your system, but you do. Buddhists, same thing. These are the practices that we are going to give you. So as a child, you were given an assignment to a religion. Doesn't make any one of the other religions wrong or right. This is the problem that I have with a lot of people who only preach the one book, especially in America. There's a lot more to that book than you imagine, and it's not all correct. It's man-made. And if you read some of the channelings that are from higher density beings, there's a lot of wisdom in there, and they refer back to Yeshua, without a doubt. But there's other entities that exist that have walked a very similar path. Might have not been here, it might have been somewhere else. Doesn't make them any less or any more. God and I work hand in hand, like God and you work hand to hand. What is your purpose? And if you're not sure what your purpose is, but you resonate with those things that I listed off, you're in the right direction. Everybody's in the right direction. You are where you're supposed to be in this time of now. Awoken to the narrative or not, you're where you're supposed to be because that's what you signed up for. And people have to start accepting that reality. I can't heal the world, but I can heal those who come to me. And if I can't heal them, someone else will. We all have and serve a purpose. What's yours? What is your favorite thing to do? Are you an artist? I'm an artist. I draw. I love to draw. I love to paint. Doesn't make me any income, but when the time comes, when there is no any of this greed or competition, or who are you doing that to get a show in a gallery, most artists will start making it, and most people will appreciate art a little differently. Same with music. There are very talented people in this world, very talented, and they'd never get seen. There are many people who are beautiful at theatrical arts, actors and actresses who just don't fit a norm, but they're brilliant on stage. And they never get seen. It's all going to change. But it's up to us to feed that new loop and paradigm. It's up to us as a collective, as unity consciousness, as all of us, not leaving anybody behind, coming together and lifting each and every one of us up. But we can't do that when we're not lifting each other up now. This is like we're vibrating higher, but we haven't taken our vehicles yet. Why? Because not enough people are exhibiting the compassion and unconditional love. It's the Amish mindset. When more people start uplifting other people, lifting other people, lifting other people, and you do it and make it a practice on an everyday basis, more people are going to come on, and more people, it's going to web out. And we need that now. We can't sit idly by and wait for things to happen to us. We have to put the action into motion to make things happen. I'm a great example of that. I can't be in New York anymore. I can't feed myself. I sold everything that I own that has any worth to other people. I am doing odd jobs. I'm doing what I can to survive. I made this channel to share my knowledge, to take you on my journey. How many people have reached out to me thanking me for my message because they resonated with it and they didn't know what to do? They were lost. They don't. How many people are going to show this in the future to somebody whose partner or a friend is stuck in that one book paradigm and say, you know what? Did you hear this reading? It sounds very similar to the Bible, but it's said a little differently. You should really look into this and give it a chance. It's not going to harm you if it's of God. And again, God allows a lot of things. He allows the evil to exist. So you need to know of both. If you haven't experienced the darkness, you're never going to appreciate the light, vice versa. You have to know from both in order to have soul growth and to move up into higher densities. Because with that knowledge, when you are the archangel or the ascended master coming down and aiding the next crop of third density beings, and you're the guide up in heaven, guiding these people and into directions and feeding them downloads and thoughts, wouldn't you want to know that you experienced that so that maybe you can help them through it? Because they still have to walk through the pain. It's just easier when a being has walked through the same pain that they can help chill you out. Write down what you think your purpose is. Are you a healer? There's multiple facets of what a healer is. Are you somebody who's going to do something big or small? It doesn't matter. We all count. And if you don't know yet, that's fine. Everything happens in divine timing. I have to remind myself that every day when I don't have a closing date. And I'm just like, I gotta get out of New York. I have to get out. Allison, patience. You gotta practice patience. Okay, but when am I eating next? Hi. How's my bills getting paid? Hi. Remember, you gave it up to us. Yeah, and then I have to pay like twice as much on a bill because I was late. What am I gonna do? I don't know. I'm gonna read what third density consciousness is. Ego association, service to self. And that's not to say that's bad. And because you have to know how to take care of yourself in order to take care of the other self, which is the people in and around you. Your other selves, because again, you're a fractal of God, but you're also a fractal playing a role of other people. So what they're not playing, you are. I know that's kind of hard to believe, but that's the truth. So I'm this gothic chick playing out some like, oh, she's a tarot oracle card gypsy person, right? But in reality, that's an aspect of that I play that someone else isn't playing. We all have a we're all on the divine stage of God playing roles. So you need to be a service to yourself to understand how to service other people. And you only learn by doing what's right and wrong. Duality, polarization, labels. You're gothic. You're evil. Sometimes I can be. Separatism, control, rules, status. Once again, class system. The negative polarity pushed us into class systems, dividing us. And the people on the bottom are always the ones who are forgotten. Materialism. You have to have that new shiny bag or that nice hot car. Always needing a thing. And not to say those things shouldn't be had or bought. But you can't take them with you when you die. When your physical vehicle dies, it stays in the physical plane. So you have to detach from material objects. Hardworking, linear thinking, fear, lower emotions, fear-based programming. We've all been exposed to that. Cause and effect, linear. It's here twice. I don't know why. Victim mentality, dense, slow, and heavy. And this list comes from at Forbidden Knowledge. I'll write the link down below in the description. a lot of us are moving out of that third dimension paradigm into the fourth and fifth. Many of us are thinking and vibrating between all, which is fine. There's a lot of trauma and there's still things coming up. We're still in retrograde season. There are still 6 planets in retrograde. We haven't come out of Mercury. We're almost there, almost home stretch. And then there's the shadow period afterwards. Does that make it evil? Or does that make you understand the zodiac? And actually, it plays a huge role in a lot of scripture. It does. We're not ever going to know the totality of truth. But what is your truth and what do you stand in? And I'm not asking you to take what you resonate and twist and turn it into making it mine. I'm asking you to look inside your God self and understand that you are God. You're a part of God, and so am I. And God created me in its image for a role to help, teach, and guide other people. And he gave that to me in a non-religious form for a reason. A few mediums that I have worked with have said there is no religion upstairs. It's the law of one. There's laws of attraction. The Kabbalion smacks right on it. Oh, but that's an esoteric book, Allison. Well, it's physics. It's math. Math and physics have laws. Whether the paradigm is right or wrong, right? Math never lies. Math is absolute. If you do it correctly. The laws of physics, the laws of the universe, they exist. Law and order is how the universe works. That's why it's called the law of one. We're all one and the same, and we all encompass each other. We are all light beings. Some of us fell to the dark side. The light got dim. Some people vibrate at very low density and things just happen to inhabit them. We need to forgive for those that do not know. We have to do better. But right now, it's figuring out what is our purpose here. The one and many. If we don't have just one. Don't believe that. You don't have one. You have many. We all hold a purpose. So write down in my comments, what is your purpose? What do you think you're here for? What would you like to do? If we lost the system that is in place right now, right? If life, you wouldn't have to worry about money because you get, and not talking about the reset and you have nothing and be happy kind of nonsense, that the energy that you're exerting on an everyday basis, you didn't have to worry about income because everything is given to you that you would like. So let's just say that you're an artist and all you want to do all day is paint. And if you had that opportunity, what would you paint? What would you do? Tell me. If you are a teacher and that's all you want to do is teach, what would you teach? Some people just like teaching like elementary. Some people like high school where it's a one topic. What would you like to do with the rest of your life? If you didn't have any boundaries, if you didn't have to pay bills, What is something that you love and are passionate about, and what would you like to do with that passion that helps humanity? And by helping humanity, it might be your community, but it's still helping everybody. You don't know how you're going to inspire the next person that might be doing the next big thing that helps the world. You don't know, but it's because of you that you made that ripple in the ether. You could spark an idea in another person. You don't know until you do it. So what do you think your purpose is? If you had no bounds, no chains, no ball and chain, what would you like to do? It's a hard question. It's really hard. What happens if you have so many things? You have to pick one. I say no. You just got to time it out perfectly that you're going to do. Like maybe I'll take 6 hours to do a painting, and the next six I'll do a drawing, and then I'll do my videos because I love doing these. And I would love to read as many books as I possibly can. And again, I just pluck what I find the truth out in books. I don't necessarily agree with everything that's written and said. Maybe I want to write a book. Maybe I want to make a creations business. Maybe I want to give things out for nothing with my energy signature in it. And it's endless, guys. But God put you here for a reason. You chose to be here for now. You chose to watch this world change its paradigm. God created you and everything about you. It's about now accepting the others, your other selves, the other people in your life, in and around your life, or that will be eventually entering your life. Are you going to accept them? Maybe they're diverse. Maybe they don't have the Bible in common with you, whatever that Bible is to you. Are you going to poo-poo them away because they're not like you? Or are you going to embrace them because you know they're of God and they're of you too? I hope you resonated with this. Something that upstairs really needs to get conveyed. I'm not alone in this saying. I say multiple people have expressed this throughout time. I'm not the first, nor will I be the last. But maybe coming from me in my uniqueness will help someone out there embrace the fact that I am not of the evil. I am of the light, because that's the choice that I made coming into this lifetime. I'm just a test for other people because they can't see the light being past the exterior. They can't see the knowledge that is held because they can't get past this. But if you take a chance and you open up, I'm not the only one that looks like me. There's plenty of people that look like me. Maybe give them a chance. Maybe give somebody different from you a chance. Maybe you'll learn something new. And that's the point. We don't know everything. I hope all of you have an amazing weekend. Please be safe, be seen. Please do something good for somebody else on an everyday basis. Amish mindset, we cannot let anybody fail or fall. What are you doing on a daily basis to help another person out? Whether it be a like, share, subscribe, repost, whether it be donating clothes, food, whether it be giving your knowledge, giving somebody your time and attention, giving really solid advice, it's all free. That's how you're helping humanity, by giving somebody a hand and lifting them up. please write down in the comment section below. I would love to see what each and every one of you has to say that listens to me and watches this. And I hope all of you have an amazing week. Sending each and every one of you love and light. And I hope to see you in the next one. Bye, guys.